If you knew where to look, the late 90s and the early 2000s were a really good period of time for a bit of a 1950s, 60s monster movie revival. There was films like Eight-Legged Freaks, Monster Island with Carmen Electra, Toho was pumping out Godzilla movies again, the Gamera films were in their second series, and then there was a handful more. But the movie that I'm focusing on for this video is Eight-Legged Freaks. More specifically, the tie-in video game that came out with the DVD. That's right, Eight-Legged Freaks had a Doom, Wolfenstein-esque first-person shooter that had you walking around the mall location from the movie, going room to room, clearing out spiders. It's not the most interesting game in the world. It's not that long. It's not that deep. It's just kind of an interesting oddity. At least it's interesting to me. And like, full transparency, this is very much a video where I have nothing interesting to say whatsoever. I just had one of those random nostalgic memories where I was like, I remember playing this at my grandparents' house because my uncle had it on DVD. And the DVD came with the game, and he let me play it for about 5 minutes. And I must have been 5, maybe 6, and I remember finding it scary. I don't understand why I found certain things scary as a kid. Like, I watched tons of other scarier things, like Jurassic Park, which again isn't scary in hindsight, but like for a kid, you know, some of that stuff's pretty intense. But for some reason at that age, Godzilla and Jurassic Park, cakewalk. Eight-Legged Freaks, oh, now that's some scary shit right there. And but it wasn't even the movie. Like, I loved the movie. I used to watch the Eight-Legged Freaks movie all the time as a kid, and I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. Giant spiders, hell yeah. But there was something about the game that to me was terrifying. Being an adult now and replaying it, it's not even scary in the slightest. Doom is scarier than the Eight-Legged Freaks game. Man, I can't imagine what that would have done to my fucking 6-year-old brain if I had gotten my hands on Doom. Okay, so yeah, so this is a review, an analysis, a look back. But yeah, so I was able to find it on Abandonware. This is a great website if you want to find old video games and give them a play. I beat it in like 20 minutes. It's a very short game. Like I said, it's a DVD pack-in, and that was in the time period where it wasn't uncommon for there to be video games packed in with movies. More often than not, though, they'd be like the Far, Far Away Idol on the Shrek 2 DVD, or they would be those point-and-click games that came with like the first 3 Harry Potter movies. But I think what makes this one unique is that it wasn't a game that you played with your DVD remote on the DVD player. You actually played it on the PC. One thing I found really weird is how the game keeps track of your ammo. It doesn't have a traditional like bullet counter or anything like that. It has like a slider. I find the voice lines pretty cringy, and I'm like 90% sure, 99.99% sure that this is not David Arquette.
Come out, wherever you are. In your hairy bug face.
You move really quick. I actually think that the gameplay feels really smooth. If David Arquette could run this fast in real life, he should have been an Olympian. I'm not going to tear it apart too much because it is just a pack-in game with a movie, so you're getting a lot more than what you paid for typically. But things like boss fights, if you can even call them that, are not structured really well. When I encountered the final boss, it felt completely random. Like, I don't think I did anything to trigger it other than walk up to this door, which I feel like I had already done at one point earlier in the level anyways, so I just kind of felt like I was wandering around, pretty sure I knew where the boss was, and then just all of a sudden the door opened up. One thing I find funny is that they took the time to include 2 playable characters, though as far as I can tell, there's no difference other than a few voice lines. Like, the gameplay is exactly the same no matter who you pick. And you play as Chris McCormick, who was played by David Arquette, and Sheriff Samantha Parker, who was played by Carrie Werrer. I think this game benefits from being a pack-in title and for being so short. Like, it's literally just a neat little bonus. It wasn't ever released as a full game at full retail price, so it's really hard to be critical of some things, like how short it is, like how the weapons variety is like actually kind of lacking. But like, in a game this short and for this value, the weapon selection's pretty good. Same with the level variety. When I was prepping for this video, I was kind of asking myself, how critical do I want to be of this thing? Because like, it's nothing special. It's very bare bones, but it's a DVD pack-in title that you basically got for free if you were just willing to buy the DVD. So it kind of knocks it out of the park. I do wish I had more to say I just really like the movie. I'm very nostalgic for it, and this was like a little nugget of nostalgia that was tucked away in the back of my brain that I thought I'd just take another look at and then make a quick little video sharing that with all you guys. One final thing I'd like to point out is all the advertising going on in the movie. They got posters for upcoming films, or at least films that were upcoming at the time, and this was just another thing that made me feel a little bit nostalgic, but it's also just kind of funny to see these posters in an 8-Legged Freaks game. And so yeah, that's the 8-Legged Freaks game. Let me know if you have any memories with it, or if you have any memories with other DVD video game tie-ins. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Get back, you 8-legged freak!